So one of the things you want to do when you have your website is to add it to Google Webmasters, because it will allow you to submit your pages, and you can see that it all works properly. Okay, so what I would do is search for Google Webmaster Tools, and then you'll get to this page. You probably won't have anything here if you haven't done it before. These are all really old sites that I used to play with. And then I'm going to add property, and I'm going to do HTTP sublimation printing.co.uk, I think. Let me just check. Okay. And then I'm going to add. It's now going to ask you to confirm. So just waiting for that to go. So it's looking for me to download this file. So click on it and it will download. So save file and it will download. Okay, so it will be in my downloads file. And then email that to your web developer or upload it, because basically it's trying to confirm that you are the owner of that domain name. And one way of doing that is to upload a file to the domain name so that you know. It's a little bit trickier when you're using WordPress. You know, when you just use FTP type old-fashioned websites, it's a lot easier. So there are some alternative methods here as well that you can do. So you can put you can go through your domain name to provider like 123reg. You can also link it with your Google Analytics account. And I'm not really sure what Google Tag Manager is, something to look at. So I've already emailed my web developer to add the site. So I'm going to confirm that I'm not a robot, and I'm going to verify. Now he's already uploaded this file for me, so we can see that they have verified that I am an owner, so I want to continue. So when you do that, you will just need to send that file and say, please can you upload that to my domain name. It probably won't take more than half an hour, if that. Right, so here you have then, you can see if there's any crawl errors. Now obviously I've just added it, so Google's just had it, okay? So I'm not going to see much here, but just to give an idea, so you can fetch as Google. So if you want to add, when you've added a new blog post, you can add a, you can basically do here and you can go and fetch it. So it, you get to see how it's brought in, and it also sort of informs Google that there's a new site there, so they can start to go and spider it. So spidering is basically the way the search engines work. They sort of go through all the various links, so it sort of shortcuts that, and it tells them that it's there. So if we, obviously it hasn't started crawling, but you could have a look if there's any crawl errors. So I'm going to fetch as Google, and maybe I might think, well, let's, or if you've updated a page and you want it to sort of start, so you just need that end bit there, yeah, desktop. So I'm going to fetch. And it's just going to show how it so request indexing here. So you're submitting the following URL to be indexed by Google. Okay, so I'm not a robot. Crawl this URL and its direct links, go. So every time, if you remember, every time you add a blog post or a product, if you come in and do fetch as Google, it speeds up the process. You're not having to wait for Google to find that page randomly as it's crawling around, which can take a little bit of time, you know, a week or so. So this just sort of marks it and lets Google know that there's a new page and it can come and find it. But like I say, so if we go back to one of my old sites, let's have a look. Bear with me. I'm getting the spinny wheel of death today from my Mac. Okay, let's go on to victoriacasebond.com. There's probably some errors over here, I can imagine. Okay, so here, search appearance. So I won't go into all this now. Really, this is what I wanted to show you, is to how to connect your Webmaster's tool to your website, and also how you can do the fetch as Google to get that new blog post or new site found by Google faster than it would be on its own. That's what we're really looking for. So I think I'll do another video just looking through any sort of crawl errors or anything like that. So you can see, obviously, I've got a little bit. So there's some 404, which is sort of page not found errors, and it just you can just keep an eye on the health of your website, because obviously as a website gets going, more and more things break over time. Like you might remove an image, you might remove a blog post, something becomes outdated, and it's just good to sort of have a check here that everything's, it's fetching the robots text file, it's connected to the server okay. So yeah, it's just good to check. But for now, all I want you to take from this is A, that it's important to connect Webmaster Tools to your website for you to do this in the future, and also to be able to fetch as Google so that you can speed up the indexing of your site.